Everybody, thank y'all so much for tuning on in. Today we're going to be talking about absentee voting and absentee ballots and how you receive one. We'll also be comparing it to just regular mail-in voting and talk about how they compare and how they contrast. So I guess we'll start out looking at this form here. For in the state of Tennessee, if you want an absentee ballot, we'll go through what you have to do. Okay, so how does absentee voting work in Tennessee? We pull up this page right here. It's got our Secretary of State and then the absentee by mail ballot information. So we click here, download the form, and this is the form I had in my hand earlier. You provide your full legal name, your address, the city, zip code, etc. And then you also need your social security number and email. Here, I think it's important to note, I'll zoom in so you can see, you got to be registered to even request an absentee ballot, and you have to have your full social security number. You can't just make up a bogus number. This is a very secure method to vote. Then you also have the address where you want to mail the ballot. In my case, I'm having it mailed here to New Mexico, which is very different from, if you're just mailing it to your address, which you can click this box. Then in Tennessee, you have to have a reason. You can't just go willy-nilly and, say I want an absentee ballot, but they're pretty loose as far as restrictions. If you're older than 60 and you're concerned about potential illnesses floating around, you can request it. If you're going to be outside the county during all hours, you can request it. If you've been hospitalized, or if you're caretaking somebody that's hospitalized, if you're a full-time student, if you reside in a licensed facility, if you're a candidate yourself. So I guarantee you the two candidates will be checking this box. If you're observing a religious holiday, if you're serving as an election official, if you're on jury duty, if you're a voter with disability, and if you have a CDL, and then if you're in the military, you can request it as well. Following that, there's the signature. You have to have a legitimate pen signature. You can't do this, digitally. And then if you have trouble writing, you can get witnesses to sign. And it's got to be received by October 27th of this year. So, too long didn't watch. Absentee ballots are secure. If you're not registered, you can't request one. And there's a $1,000 reward too if you provide information leading to the conviction of somebody committing voter fraud. So, basically, this is a secure form. So, here I want to take the opportunity to explain the difference between just a standard mail-in ballot and an absentee ballot. With the standard mail-in ballot, every registered voter gets their ballot mailed to them. With this absentee ballot, you have to request it by filling out the form like I have shown in this picture. And that's really the only difference. Okay, so I have everything filled out and I have it in this envelope. So, what to do now? I'll take it to the mailbox, put it in the mail. A few days later, hopefully they send me my ballot and things will go well. Today is September 14th, and we will see how long it takes.
So away we go.
Okay, so here we have our official election mail. We requested it on the 14th of September. Today is the 28th. So it took a while to get here. It's actually postmarked for the 23rd. So they sent it out the 23rd, and I'd imagine it got here on the 26th. But I don't know if there was a delay in the arrival or they just waited. I know that early voting doesn't officially start in Coffee County, Tennessee until the 14th of October, and they may have just waited to send out the election mail with the absentee ballots. Either way, just let this be a lesson that you probably need to request the absentee ballot as soon as possible. But anyway, here's their address, and it got sent to my address. I'm not going to give you the whole details there, but let's take a look inside and see how it looks. So the first thing they sent is this envelope here. All it is return address for the official election mail. It says first class mail postage must be applied, and then the actual ballot envelope, which has all of this. Basically, you swear and affirm that it is you that filled out the ballot. I did have to provide my social security number, and sign that I was not committing fraud. So if you're not registered, there's no way you can request this ballot. Then the next thing we have here is all of the candidates listed on the ballot. So believe it or not, Kanye West is actually on the ballot. Now, as far as that's concerned, you can run as a joke, and sometimes you just might get elected. Anyway, so you just fill in only one, then you decide who you want for your in the Senate. Who would you like as your representative, and then who would you like to represent you in the state Senate and state representatives. And then of course, it's the people running the election. Then the last thing is the actual instructions. So, mark ballot in secret, fold ballot and seal in appropriate ballot envelope, swear to and sign, seal the ballot, and then place postage on the large envelope and mail ballots. Ballots must be received by mail in the Coffee County Election Commission office by the time the polls close on election day. What that means, one final thing. A person who votes absentee by mail who is not entitled to do so commits felony punishable by not less than 2 years nor more than 12 years imprisonment or a fine of $5,000 or both. If you don't have a reason to fill out the absentee ballot, it's a $5,000 fine. Make sure you're doing this honestly, folks. So after some struggle, ballot goes in. Now, I do solemnly swear that I am a registered voter and resident of the state of Tennessee, which I am, in the county, district, precinct, and ward as shown above, and that I am registered to vote in the above election. I further swear/affirm that this envelope contains the absentee ballot marked by me in secret, and that I am not registered to vote in any other state or county for this election, and that I am entitled to vote absentee by mail in this election. It is a felony for a person to falsify any information pertaining to absentee voting, or to the absentee voting process. So, I sign, I give out my address, and away we go. So here we have the envelope, ballots inside, and we will send it on out. So to close out this election video, I ended up dropping off that envelope after putting 2 stamps on it at the same post office where I dropped off the request. We'll see how it ends up, but before we go, there is one thing I want to show y'all. As you may or may not have seen on the checklist, they gave me the I voted sticker anyway. So, I will most definitely be wearing this thing with pride. I think, in general, voting is one of the best things you can do to protect and defend democracy. And I highly recommend, if you're young, my age especially, that you go out and vote. It's important to me, and I think it should be important to you, but it's also a free country, and you can decide what you want to do with your life. So I would encourage all of y'all, go vote, go live your life, be informed, and make a positive impact on the world. That's all. Thank you so much for tuning on in, and I'll see you in the next video.